show. This one's for the warrior, yeah. One time for the warrior. This one's for the warrior, yeah. One time for the beyond the show. This one's for the warrior, yeah. One time.
Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Show. I am Tabitha McGee, your host and the CEO of the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia. Our show, Beyond the Show, goes along with Unveiling Sickle Cell Beyond the Pain, which is our TV talk show designed to bring awareness and education about sickle cell disease. This show is more than that, though, not just about sickle cell disease. We want you to understand all aspects of how you live well with sickle cell disease, how we serve those with sickle cell disease, and how we are continuing to bring awareness and education about this very painful disease. We work hard to help people live well with sickle cell. We believe there is hope in every heartbeat, and you can play a role in this too. What we need you to do, right here on this button, like it, subscribe to our channel. We would like you to tag us at Sickle Cell GA. We want you to share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone that you know that need more education about sickle cell disease. We welcome you to share this information with them. Today, this episode is going to go way beyond the show. I'd like to say hello to my good friend, Amy Hayes.
Huh?
Amy Hayes is someone filled with joy, and she spreads that joy to everyone she meets. Amy is a community health worker at the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia. She plays an important role in helping sickle cell warriors live well. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
I'm glad to have you. So when did you start here?
I started December of 2023 as a part-time administrative assistant.
A part-time administrative assistant.
I did.
Okay.
And from there, in January, I was called into the CEO office, Ms. Tabitha McGee, and presented me with an offer to become a community health worker. So I had to think about it, and a couple of days later, I accepted, and I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you did too.
Thank you.
There was something I identified with you when you first started.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we had a training in our large conference room, and we always do training at the beginning of every year to understand the mission for the year, understand all the events, and really make sure everyone is grounded before the year get kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And inside of that meeting, I ask a lot of questions. And so for those individuals that answer the questions right, we give them little prizes.
Mm-hmm.
But you did something that was phenomenal. You came in with this big old bag of all these goodies, these sequin hats.
Yeah.
You had scarves, you had your daily journal,
Mm-hmm.
you had your faith books that you was presenting. There were sunglasses. It was just a plethora of different items and products and you was like, it's all free. You don't have to pay. And I was like, I'll pay you for it. He's like, no.
Right.
I want to do this. I want to give. So right there in that moment, when I thought about your heart, that you like giving, I understood that you would be a great asset to the community health worker team and to our sickle cell warriors. I'm like, Amy, I need you on this team as a community health worker.
Yes.
And you did think about it for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And then you thought about from part-time that you were going full-time. So that means that you was going to have to make some adjustments.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm glad that you accepted. I'm glad you're here with us. So you're going on almost 2 years now.
Yes. January 2026 will be 2 years.
Wow. Time flies by.
Yeah.
When you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to talk about where did this heart of service come from, though? When did you realize that you were a person that really liked helping others?
I would say it started as a young child, being rooted and grounded. My mom helped, taught us what she taught us, the things to love and to forgive. And no matter how people treat you, love them in a way. And so it carried me throughout my adult life. So I really don't know another way. I mean, I can be another person, but I will not have any satisfaction from that. So the satisfaction comes from loving people as I want to be loved. And that's what I do.
I love that about you. You went as far as even to help me. My mom, being hospitalized and, it's my bonus mom, my mother-in-law. Of course, my fiance passed away, but she and I still help each other. And so
Mhm.
she was recently hospitalized, and you went to see her and pray for her.
Yes.
That really meant a lot to me.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. She's like, your little friend came by.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. And that is
welcome.
what our warriors are receiving, that
Yes.
heart of yours.
They will. They definitely get that. I mean, I really just, again, I don't know what else to do. Like, it just come natural, you know. I wake up and I think about them in the mornings and what can I do different to make their lives easier while living with sickle cell.
So tell me about your role as a community health worker.
My role as a community health worker is to make sure that all my clients are living well while healthy, making sure they have the right nutritious diet, make sure they drink a lot of water, make sure they have a hematologist. A lot of them call their hematologist their primary care doctor. So I'm trying to enhance that with them so they can get a good primary care doctor, especially our women, because when, if they expecting to have babies and stuff, they need a GYN. And a lot of them just say, well, it's just my hematologist. And so I want them to be able to, when the hematologist is not available, you have another doctor you can go to. So also with making sure they have a dentist, orthopedic doctor, because they deal with their bones and stuff deteriorating sometime. Also making sure that they have the right living, I'll say being in a better home environment, because a lot of them, they lose their housing because of their illness. And if it's a parent that have a child with sickle cell, they tend to suffer because the child be in and out of the hospital. So just making sure they are given the right resources that they need to help them live a healthier and happier lifestyle.
Wow. So it's like you're an advocate for them, a good friend for them, like a counselor for them. Caseworker.
For
Yeah,
real.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And one thing I noticed, you have to listen to them. Just when they think you're not listening, you will lose them.
Yeah.
So just paying attention to their need is very important as a community health worker.
Yeah, because the social stigma, around, and one of the things that they're trying to overcome every day is the fact that people don't listen to them. Even their own doctors don't listen. Sometimes it can be a family member that don't understand.
Definitely.
It can be a mom, a dad, a sibling. So yeah, I'm really happy to have you.
I get that a lot with the parents. If they're not in support groups, because I really want them to get into some support groups so they can be among people that's just like them.
Yeah.
So when they don't have family members and stuff, they can turn to the support groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What training does a CHW need in order to serve inside of this community?
I will first say for training for me, it started when I was hired by my manager, Danina Battle. She's smart, she knows a lot. And so, and she goes and she looks for different type of trainings that the CHWs can take, online or in person. And then the Sickle Cell Foundation of Maryland, that is a certification that we as CHWs can take that course. It was like a 3-month course, I do believe, and it was very intense. But it teaches you a whole lot. It teaches you how to deal with people, the things that you need to know when you hit the grounds, go out in the community. It teaches you how to dress, how to speak, it's just a lot. And so Kevin Armando, he is over that. And so that I will definitely say that if you are a community health worker and you're not getting that training, I suggest you go back and get that training so it can help you.
So Kevin Armando at Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, We thank you so much for this phenomenal
Yes.
training. Because of you, all of our community health workers are now certified, and they are doing such a much better job. They're performing very well because of that training. Then, of course,
Absolutely.
we want to say thank you to Danina.
Yes.
You know, Danina was once a community health worker as well, and I went looking for her.
Wow.
I had to have her on the team
Yeah.
because I noticed that she had that heart of service as well. And I was like, you have to have that type of heart in
Yeah.
order to serve inside of this community anyway, right? How do you maintain a positive attitude when you see so much chronic illness, so much pain, so much heartache as a result of, you know, our warriors been homeless, you know, some of them not having the basic necessities they need to live.
Yeah.
So how do you keep a positive attitude during that?
Prayer.
Prayer.
That's the first thing. Making sure, and whoever you pray to, you know, I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ. So
Amen.
that is first for me. I don't really think that I would be such a good community health worker if I did not add that in my life.
Okay.
And then just having support from my family and friends, and support from my managers and CEO. That's very important to have support like that.
We have to have a community of
Yes.
support. I remember when I was suffering with my illness, you know, I had a heart attack and a stroke. And if it wasn't for my community, I don't know how I would have bounced back.
Absolutely.
You know, my girlfriends, I call them my circle of friends, my diamonds, they flew in one at a time, and someone with me every week, you know, helping to bathe me, helping to feed me, you know, just making sure that I was good, you know, mentally.
Yeah.
And that was a lot to adapt to, but that community, and even Deb, she was a former CEO here, she and I were very close friends, and I loved her like a sister.
Yeah.
And she too was right there, you know, for me. And I remember she called me one day, she's like, okay, we're gonna mourn the eye that you lost. And she said, but tomorrow we back in the game.
Yeah.
And that kind of pushed me forward. Like, okay, enough of that. And, all right, woe is me. Let's move. You know, you can walk, you can talk. We good.
Yeah. And you used that for me.
I did.
When I was going through an illness, when I came to work here, I, you know, was on disability and going through some things. And you helped me through that because I was struggling. You know?
were. I'm like, let's get with it, sister.
Yeah, but I'm glad that I made that decision. It was the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
And I use that tool when I'm talking to my clients.
Yeah.
You know, able to testify and tell them you can do this, and just tell them don't give up. You know, because something is greater coming for you.
Yeah. And that's why I love that motto that I use all the time. There is hope in every heartbeat.
Yes.
Because I believe if you can provide individuals with hope, it gives them a sense of purpose.
Yes.
And okay, if you went through this and you got over it and you're okay, I can be okay. And that's why it's so important for us to testify.
Absolutely.
And have a testimony that we can give and not be ashamed of anything that we've gone through, you know,
Yes,
no matter how
absolutely.
difficult the situation was.
Yes.
We have to share that information.
Yes, absolutely.
And it helps deliver other people. So being transparent, and you're very transparent. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we got to talk about something that I know you don't like talking about, but you've had many challenging clients. What was your most challenging? What was the most difficult case you've ever had?
A 1013, which is, you know, admitting your clients into a mental facility. That was very hard for me. And I think I had two of them. One of them was really, really emotional for me. And I had to watch him, you know, them take him away. One of them, I had to watch them run down the street to try to get him because he just didn't want to go.
Wow.
But I look at that situation, that was the most hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, one of them. One, you know, is you're thinking about them not liking you, coming back saying I mean, even I had to think about watching myself when I would leave the building because you
Absolutely.
just never know
You never know.
Yeah, but I know that it was a good thing for them at the time. Um, and I had the support of my employees, um, coworkers, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my coworkers, and everybody just pitched in and we just helped. But that was hard because I had to then break the news to their parents. And that wasn't good.
Yeah.
And I know that it actually bothered me throughout the night. I couldn't sleep. My heart was broken. Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
It really was. It's very emotional. And I would have to talk about it to my family because I needed that support. Like, this is what I had to do. I need y'all. And
Yeah.
so that was hard.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I remember when you and I had another client, and we had to send her home. And her
Yes.
home is not here in Georgia.
Right.
And that was very difficult because she really wanted to be here because she had created a circle of friends
She
among the
did.
warriors, right? And when we got to the place that we realized that because she wasn't working and she was far behind inside of her rent.
Yes.
And although if we would have bailed her out that time, the next month she was going to be right in the same situation because she didn't have a job and they wouldn't hire her, or she couldn't keep employment because she was constantly sick. And I believe the sickness came from the fact that she was so stressed.
She was very stressed.
Yeah, so we had to call mom and dad. It's like, we got to send the baby back home. And even though she wasn't a baby, she was fully adult, she needed her support system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can recall when I'm not for sure who bought her the basket, but I want to say we did that here.
Yeah, we did.
For her to come and pick it up before she would get on the flight.
Yeah.
And I remember her FaceTiming me, and she literally cried, and she said, "I don't want to do this, but I know I got to do this."
Yeah.
And I said, "You'll be able to come back."
You'll be able to come back.
And so recently she did come and visit us, and she was better.
Yeah, she
was
looked so
much
good,
better.
didn't she? I was so happy to see her.
Yeah, so I'm happy that, even though we have to set those boundaries with our patients, clients, but at the same time, we have to make some really hard decisions for them. Even sometimes their parents don't understand why we have to do it.
Yeah.
But we have to make those decisions
We do.
for them to get better.
Yeah.
So,
and we don't have unlimited funds here at the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia. We have to work hard at fundraising, donations, sponsorships, partnerships.
Yes.
And so we do have to be very strategic when it comes to making a financial decision of helping someone versus saying, unfortunately, even if we assisted you this month, it's like throwing money away because next month, how you going to pay the rent? How you going to pay your utilities?
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to inform that, unfortunately, it's just time for you to move, right?
Yeah, and that's hard too, to tell somebody that. I've had to do that a couple of times recently within the last month. And I mean, some words was stated, but
they cussed you out?
Yeah, almost, yeah. And then it was on a weekend, so I had to be really, really strong. But it was, you're right. We can't help with that.
We can't help
and
everybody.
So, but it's our job as a community health worker to provide the resources for them.
Right.
Sometimes we will get the resources.
Right.
Sometimes we won't.
Right.
But one thing that I would love to implement is for our clients to take a financial course.
Right.
Because it seems like since I've been here, the same people end up in the same place, the same month, year after year.
Yeah.
So what can we do to make that better for them? So they don't go down the same pathway.
Well, I agree with that. And that's something, we can talk to Amin about because as I share with the staff, it's so important for you to have all your paperwork in order, right? A power of attorney, a living will, a will for after death, whether or not you want to be an organ donor. Do you want to be a DNR, do not resuscitate?
Absolutely.
We need to have them understand a budget, how much money you're bringing in, what's going out. And then to help them understand, even $20 a month being put away can help you have an emergency fund. That if something arises, you will have some money there. And I don't think it's just our sickle cell warriors that we're talking about.
Yeah.
it's a community
It
in the
is.
whole, right?
Yeah.
That they need, because in school they didn't give us a financial class.
No.
They gave us a class though in home ec to teach us how to cook. I'm like,
And
I never
sew,
wanted to cook.
and to sew. We
And
had
to
to learn.
sew.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the women take, home ec, the men take wood shop. I'm like, but nobody told us how to balance a checkbook,
That's true.
how to invest, how to. I remember when I started working at Xerox and Jack Collins came to me. He's like, Tabitha, I want to sit down and talk to you about a 403B. No, 401k, I'm sorry, because that's when I was in the commercial world. I said, what is that? He said, it's a pre-tax savings plan. I was like, nah, you ain't ready to take my money. I don't know nothing about that. And he was like, no, Tabitha. He said, I promise you it's going to be so worth it one day. And I was like, and he was a white man. So I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking. Why are you asking me about my money, right? I was so protective and so defensive. And then after, a while, I found was like, okay, asking other people. And I was like, oh, yeah, Tabitha, you should definitely talk to him.
Yeah.
So he actually became my financial advisor. And Jack was like, we're going to put money away and it's going to go into this account. And if you ever leave Xerox, you'll have this money to pour from, right? I went to leave. I went to get paid the next 2 weeks. And I was like, what did you do with my money? I was like, my check is short. What happened to my money? I swear that man stole my money.
Oh, my goodness.
Calm down. Let's call this 1-800 number. You can check your balance and all that. And so that was life-changing for me. I'm glad that Jack told me about the power of investing when I was very young.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have growing up. My mom, she wasn't taught that.
Okay.
So she couldn't teach us.
Right.
So as she got older, I think she was in her 40s, late 40s.
Yeah.
When she started saying, save $5.
Yeah.
Save it. If you don't have it, just save it and it will make a difference.
Yeah.
And so from then on is when we just really started to look at life a little different, making sure we had life insurance and those type things. So, and that's another thing that you also help us with as employees. You instill in us to do those type things, to get our credit right and all those. So guess what? We can implement that to our clients.
Yeah.
So,
remember one day they used to say cash is king?
Yeah.
And now we know that credit is the mother of all of that. And so I wanted to instill in our employees and our warriors what was taught to me, and how in 2015, my life was in shambles as well. And I just got really, really serious and dedicated to change my finances by investing, by paying off all my credit, by having an excellent credit score, understand the power of life insurance, and that's whole life versus term life, understand the difference. And then we share that with our warriors. We share with, I share with the employees. I recently invested in some software, Smart Dollar. And it teaches them how to budget. It teaches them how to set their money aside, how to get themselves out of debt. And I'm really proud that, our team is using it. And I hope one day we'll be in a position that our warriors can use it as well.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So now that you talked to us about the most difficult case, what's the most rewarding?
Ooh, Hope Atlanta.
Hope Atlanta.
Hope Atlanta,
Okay.
just making sure that the clients that I send over, when they need a place to live, they have been able to provide housing for them. I sometimes run into a few that won't go get the proof of their income and little things, but I push them. And so, but Hope Atlanta, Mr. Kelvin, he has been so great with assisting my clients. And that is very rewarding to know that they are not sleeping in the car or they don't have to go from house to house. So yeah, that's good. I love that part.
So, Mr. Kelvin, thank you so much
Yes.
at Hope Atlanta for helping
Yes.
our warriors. We truly appreciate you.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
always rewarding to see them get a place of their own. And then sometimes they'll call and say, I need something for my kitchen, or and so I'm like, let me go get it. So
I seen a reimbursement that you went and bought some groceries from one of our warriors.
I did not buy the groceries, but they were able to buy their groceries themselves. I did not go.
Okay, but you gave them money to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
That was so sweet of you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very sweet of you. We have a lot of warriors that need food.
Yeah, they do. But it's also a lot of places that give out food now.
Yeah.
They just really, a lot of them they struggle with transportation, getting there. So I'm kind of working on that now to see if they can kind of like have someone deliver to them when they don't have anyone to do that. I was actually searching that today.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So yeah.
That would be phenomenal
Mhm.
to have food like Meals on Wheels or something.
Yeah.
I shouldn't give
It
them
won't be
advertisement.
that I think they only kind of cater to the
Seniors.
seniors.
Yeah, no, I'm just
But
saying something like that where
yes,
they'll deliver food.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm working on that.
How do you maintain work-life balance?
Maintain work-life balance for me looks like setting boundaries. Amy, don't do this, don't do that. And yes, I have gotten in so much trouble
Yes.
for not knowing how to do that. And again, that comes from the heart that I have.
Yeah.
Because working with the homeless in the past, I had to do that. And
Mhm.
so, but the support means a lot to me. If I don't have the support, it's hard for me to do that.
Right.
My family, they are like 100% on my side.
Okay.
Sickle Cell Foundation supports me.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I don't know, it's hard. That can get emotional for me because I know they need it.
Yeah.
And I know they need me.
Yeah.
So having to set those boundaries
Mhm.
is hard, but it's something I got to do.
Yeah, because, as I have therapy on Wednesdays, you have a therapist. It's very important for us to engage and do all that we can do.
Yeah.
But it's also important for us to take care of ourselves.
Yes, I know. Yes.
Yeah. And so not
Yes.
necessarily getting in trouble, but more of a, let me just make sure that you're aware that I'm noticing that you were stressed because you started having some medical issues.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey,
That's true.
we got to draw a line in the sand here so that you can have some boundaries. And
That's true.
I really try not to bother my employees after work hours. I try not to bother them on the weekends if they're on vacations. Every once in a while, we have about 6 or 7 events a year that is mandatory for them to participate in.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really try to create a really good work-life balance for the employees because I want them to be joyful about coming to work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And setting our schedules, we have to not double book
Right.
with our personal life to our work life.
Yeah.
And just paying attention to that.
Yeah.
And realizing that, again, that our work, this job paid my bills.
Yeah.
Going to the movies is not going to pay my bills.
Right. It's going to spend your money.
It's going to spend my money.
Movies are so
for
expensive
real.
today.
So,
Oh, Jesus.
that's, you got to balance all of that and take it into consideration. If I don't work, I don't eat. And that's the word.
I remember Dr. Person said, if they knew what I knew, they would skin their knees getting in
trying
here.
to tell you.
She said, because hungry don't look good, don't
it
feel
doesn't.
good. That's what she said.
That's so true. So, yeah.
Yeah, work-life balance is critical. Yeah, it's important. And we try to give as much notice as we can. That's why we have that meeting at the beginning of the year to say these are all the events and these are all the dates, so people can know. Let me go ahead and mark these off on their calendar. And then I just put out an email, I think June, like we're getting ready to get busy because Sickle Cell Awareness Month is coming. At the end of the year, we got some big events. Go ahead and take your vacation, get rejuvenated, get relaxed, so you can come back in a really good mood. Right.
Once you, I feel that once you realize that, once you love what you do, sometimes it doesn't become a problem. If you dread coming in to work, it will become a problem because you'll make all the excuses in the world of why you can't show up.
Yeah.
But when you love what you do, you love the people that you work with, it makes a difference.
It does, and I believe that, like you said, like in order to work here for a nonprofit that is community-based, that serves individuals who are already immune compromised, who have sickle cell disease. If you don't love what you do, it won't be the right environment for you.
It will not.
And what we're trying to do, and I'm always constantly pruning, is to remove the weeds, and those are those bad attitudes, and that's that toxic behavior. Because if you bring it over here, everyone will feel it. And then now our community health workers are stressed going out into the field.
Absolutely.
And so if you're stressed, then our clients are stressed because they feel it as well.
Yeah.
We talked about Camp Check-In and how the environment was so relaxing and how the kids were playing and smiling and dancing because they feel the joy.
Yeah.
And that's what we want here.
Yeah, they can feel the energy from us.
Yeah.
That is so true. I remember when last year when you started cutting down the trees out in the front.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord gave me a vision of how He had the way the trees were being cut and the new ones was going to grow up.
Yes.
That was just what He was doing in the inside of this place.
Ooh.
And so it resonated with me because every time I go out and I see the trees, they're blooming, I look at that as we're blooming in the inside.
Yeah.
Some will fall off. Some
Yeah.
of the old fruit will fall
And
off.
it's okay.
But the good fruit will come up and we'll be able to move and prosper in this company.
Yeah. As you say that, I think about
Yeah.
that. Even that large tree. We had 2 very large
Yeah.
trees outside. And I remember we had to get the city of Atlanta first to approve us to take them down. But as soon as we took those trees down, it brought sunlight.
Yes.
And you can actually see our building.
Mm-hmm.
But what it also did was allow the grass to grow. Remember
did.
how
Mm-hmm.
barren the ground was because of the big trees and
Yes.
all the shade, so our grass would not grow.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at how
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
outside
beautiful.
it looks.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to prune in order to grow.
You really do.
And it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. You can't take everybody along with you.
That's true.
And I remember when we were less than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're 5 million, and my goal is to have us at 10 million in the next 3 years. So in order to get there, you have to have people
You too.
that love what you do. You have to have people that love our warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I love our warriors.
Yeah, me too.
I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Me
love
too.
them. I love fighting for people who have been taken advantage of,
Yeah.
who really don't have a voice. I love being a spokesperson.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I wake up with it and I go to sleep with it
Yeah.
every single day.
Absolutely.
And I'm always thinking about what can I do to make the warrior's life, easier.
Absolutely.
And that's why we started the Prudent Reserve,
Mm-hmm.
because of the number one issue being housing, to
Yeah.
make sure that we can raise money over these next 3 years to put towards that housing fund so we can, i.e., either buy a building or
Mm-hmm.
perhaps lease a place for our warriors, and not to allow them to live free,
Right.
but to
right.
subsidize, because some of them just need a place to transition to
Yes.
if they've lost their last home or they lost their employment, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you want people to know about sickle cell disease from a community health worker perspective? What do you want them to know?
What I would say, what I would want the people to know about sickle cell is that they're no different than the people that do not have sickle cell. I look at them as, I don't know, I have so many thoughts about it. It's almost like they're being overlooked in a sense of a way. Because I have people in my family that have sickle cell. However, I wasn't educated
Mm-hmm.
until I came here because I didn't even know this foundation was here.
Okay.
But sickle cell to me is just like a cancer. I don't think they should get less treatment than the cancer people or people that have diabetes or any type of disease,
Right.
basically. One thing I do know, some of them, they really do not know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that came from just with them just being in pain, but just working around people with sickle cell, to me, it just, it's almost like, what can I do to help them? What can I do to make their life easier? What can I do to get them to the right resources that they need? What can I do to build homes like, you talk about,
Mm-hmm.
to place them in a place where they don't have to worry about
Right.
paying, being put out, getting
Right.
evicted. That adds the stress.
Yeah.
So just like there are other foundations
Mhm.
for cancer
Mm-hmm.
and the other place, all that, leukemia, all of it,
Yeah.
Sickle Cell Foundation deserves that same
We do.
thing.
Absolutely.
And so I just truly, just working here and being a part of this foundation, my goal is to let people hear, that they will hear the voices of the sickle cell people, because it's needed.
I like that. When I say my motto is hope in every heartbeat,
Mm-hmm.
I feel it because,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost my son when he was 20 to epilepsy. And the same journey that I'm on now,
Mm-hmm.
it gives me an opportunity that although I couldn't save my son,
Yeah.
it gives me an opportunity to help other mothers save their son, their daughters, nieces,
Absolutely.
nephews. And so I'm like, if I can lend my voice to that, if I can lend the experience, the expertise that I learned from going through that, because being a mother with a child who had epilepsy, it was very tough watching my
Yeah.
child in pain, and then being a caregiver and wanting to be as close to him as I possibly could.
Yeah.
It was a tough fight, and now I've learned a lot through that process, so I can bring that expertise over here. And I never want a mother and a father or a sibling to lose a child or a sibling,
Yeah.
because it took my kids a long time to overcome
It's hard.
losing my son. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very hard.
Yeah.
I thought I wouldn't have to go through that, but I did.
You did.
And it was very difficult. Sometimes it replays back in my mind. And it's hard to get a call because you don't know when you're going to get a call from anybody
That's right.
and say, he's gone.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if, I don't know. I mean, that is,
Yeah. And we lost
that's
a lot.
hard. In my family last year was very hard. It wasn't to sickle cell, but it was just a lot of different things. And so just losing people 6 months apart, 4 months apart, that was very difficult. But okay, I'm stronger and I'm able to use what I've gone through to help my clients. So everything that I go through, I try to use it for my clients to help them.
Absolutely.
And so just testifying. Don't be ashamed to testify about what you've gone through.
Absolutely.
And that definitely makes a good community health worker.
Be a testimony.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
Any closing thoughts that you want to leave with our audience today?
My closing thoughts would be who you are. Listen. Have a listening ear for your clients. And if you cannot love people the way that God loves you, this will not be the job for you.
It will not be the job,
and
right?
And that is just the truth. If you cannot take somebody saying some mean things to you and constructive criticism, then this won't be the place for you, the job for you. But I love what I do. I would not change it. I probably could see myself retiring and doing it as a community health worker. But I want to be able to have so many resources, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So like I have, my book is like this thick, where I'm just making referrals.
Yeah.
And so community health worker, we are important. You are important.
You are.
And you're needed.
You're the backbone of our community.
We're the backbone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Couldn't do it without you guys. Wouldn't want to.
Yes. With a buckle on the shoe.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes.
Amy, thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom, imparting some great information to the community. And I'm thankful that God sent you our way. And I'm thankful that you're a community health worker.
Thank you. I'm so happy to
Our
be
warriors
one.
are so much better off because of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
and
for
I'm better
joining us.
off with them.
Aw.
I am.
Yeah, I
They
can
make
feel
me
it.
stronger.
Yeah, I can feel it. They make us work hard, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond the Show, a companion podcast to our TV talk show, Unveiling Sickle Cell Beyond the Pain. Join us in the work of making sickle cell disease a thing of the past. Like and share this episode of Beyond the Show. Tag us at Sickle Cell GA. And remember, even when life is tough, you can beat the odds, because there is hope in every heartbeat. I'm your host, Tabitha McGee, and I'll talk to you guys later.